Okay, so the next factoring we're doing is factoring by grouping. So to figure out if you're going to use grouping, you have 4 terms. All right, so in our problem we have 4 terms. So what you always want to do is check for a GCF first. So have the factors written down for each part of this grouping problem. And honestly, the only factor that they all have in common is 1. If it's 1, then really I don't have to worry about the GCF. So what I'm going to do is go to step 2, is I'm going to put the first 2 terms in the top row of the box. So I'm going to put 40a cubed and the negative 25a squared in the first row, and then in the second row I'll put the 48a and the negative 30. Then what I'm going to do is take the GCF out of each row and then out of each common. So I'm going to start with taking the GCF out of the first row. So the GCF between 40a cubed and negative 25a squared. Well, I know 40 and negative 25, they're both divisible by 5. And they both have 2 a's in common. So your GCF is 5a squared. Between 48a and negative 30, both of these are going to be divisible by 6 and only 6. So going with this column, 40 and 48, those are both divisible by 8, and I have 3 a's up top, 1 a on the bottom, so I'm going to include an a along with that 8. And then finally this column, second column, the 25 and the 30, they're both negative, so we're going to factor that out. And then both 25 and 30 are divisible by 5, and I'm not going to include any variables because the 30 doesn't have a variable. So basically the answer is going to be 8a minus 5, and then 5a squared plus 6. So that's the answer. And go ahead and do the box method, multiply them, and you'll see that you'll get your original problem when you multiply.